Okay, hey everyone. So tonight, we're gonna look over a couple things. Actually, I'll start recording too. So yeah, tonight we're going to look over a couple things. We're primarily going to we're going to first look at some of the results in Cook County. We're going to hopefully get this PR fixed to read the docs, which is our documentation system. And then we're hopefully going to, run DARNN with the dropout. I did a PR earlier to add that. And then we're going to look at refactoring our experiment platform. So first thing first, we've run into some issues on the PR on Circle CI. We want to add in a pull request to add this thing called read the docs and stuff. So this is something one of my teammates at Corona Y added. So there's a couple merge conflicts, it looks like, and there's been a couple problems with unit tests failing. And so the idea of this is we really want to have a good auto building documentation system so that it's easy for us to use the repo. So I think the documentation's already live. It's just an issue of actually tying it to the actual repo. Let me see if I can actually go to the actual website. I'm sure I do remember it. You should actually already be able to find our code on read the docs, but if you can't, actually looks kind of interesting. That's not us, but that actually looks kind of interesting. But anyways, readthedocs.io or .org, I guess. So I know it's on here. Flow. Oh yeah, here's our stuff. So this is our stuff on the read the docs. Right now we actually don't have very good docs on read the docs. That's one of the reasons why I'd like to get this implemented so that it kind of auto builds whenever I push to the repo. So that's the main thing. So but yeah, the idea is here then all of our models and other stuff would be documented very well and cleanly, and we probably also want to add a badge to our repo homepage. So this is already a PR, and she's doing this on the read the docs branch. I think I'm actually going to create my own separate branch, just in case anything's going on here. So what I'll do is I'll create a branch called read the docs fixes. Now I want to base it on that. I'm going to publish this branch. So that branch should be published now. So that should be good. Now what we're going to do is use that branch and probably open a PR from it. So let me go back here for a sec. I think I'm going to have to authenticate, so I'll just do that quickly. So yeah, just authenticating on Google quickly. Let's see. Okay, so we're good there. Yeah, so I should have all those entered now. So yeah, we'll compare and do a pull request. This should be simple enough. It's going to say we can't merge it, but then we'll fix this stuff here. So first we're going to resolve these conflicts. That's the conflicts. These are some of the conflicts. Really, this is simple in the requirements.txt file. And then the other thing we're going to do is, okay, so this is a version, and that, yeah, so these were just small fixes. So we'll mark these as resolved. So that should work. And then we're going to just now see if the unit tests are going to pass. So these should be running. On Circle CI. I don't know what's going on there. It says it's pending. So I think it's running. And while those run, we'll actually look through some of the model stuff from yesterday. Actually, yeah, we'll look through the model stuff and then submit like kind of a new run, I think, because then what we can do is then while that's running, we'll get the results. So as before, you probably saw in my last live coding session, we had started that Cook County stuff. So now I'm going to come back and examine essentially what it said for Cook County, and just what's taking so long. Okay, so it's weights and biases is acting slow tonight. I don't know why. Come on, hurry up. But yeah, so I'd basically done it on Cook County, just looking for yeah, I done it on Cook County, just that. So like we'll go see what this said. So actually, and still another issue, though not an issue I think I'm going to solve tonight, is that issue related to running DARNN on the GPU. So anyways, let's look at the unscaled test loss. So these are some of the best in terms of unscaled test loss for Cook County. So we'll look at these. So this was the best. Again, we'll go look at what the chart says. Weights and biases. Oh, that doesn't look good at all, actually. Okay, so this model I don't think is actually forecasting that well on Cook County. Yeah, this isn't capturing it well. I mean, that's like 422. That's 227 cases. That actually looks like a pretty big difference. So yeah, that model at least isn't good. I'm going to try the parallel coordinates, see if there's one that's good in terms of both the test lost. Like I essentially just doing what I did last night. Agents. So let's do something. What's going on there? So far that's doing okay. So I don't know. I should probably add this to the existing report instead of starting a new one. That might be easier. So here's our existing report. One of the things you can do in reports too is you can do. Wait, why can't I edit this? Oh, yeah, I can there. So one of the things you can do in reports is do like tabs of stuff. So I think we filtered this, yeah, on Los Angeles County. Similarly, here we're going to filter on the model name. We'll do DRANN. And then we'll do the file path is going to be the Cook County one. So that United States, Illinois, Cook County. That's what the, or wait. I think the problem is that this is like now. So yeah, this is the correct one in essence. So we'll visualize all these. We'll devisualize that, run set. Is it just me or that still doesn't look like 150 free? But anyways, so some of the best ones, this one doesn't look bad. I still think that this thing isn't showing all the runs. It's really weird. Because maybe if I do something for like I'd never do it here, but if I do something like here. What? No, I wanted that to be the last one. What the heck? No, that's not the... Okay, so that's... This still doesn't seem to be like 150 free though. Like, yeah, and I click off individual ones and it doesn't do much of anything. So yeah, I don't know what the problem with that is. It seems to actually be really buggy right now. I'm just gonna delete this whole panel. What I'll do actually is I'll try cloning this and then like, duplicate panel grid. And then we'll try just like doing an entirely fresh one. So we wanted the MSC, the roll, or wait, no, we start with the unscaled test loss. So that's what we start with. Then we go to the MSC rolling, or MSC, it's like, no, it's like test accuracy, but then it's this stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is this should be correct. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't correct. It's the test accuracy and it should be like the test accuracy. It's the rolling RM, or it's rolling test accuracy. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, that's the exact same chart. That's definitely 1, 2, 3, 4. That's nowhere near 150 free lines. Unless a lot of the lines are getting the exact same values. I mean, that could be it too. Maybe many of these, it is possible that some of these have like the exact same values. So let me just, I'll do that thing where I remove the columns again. Actually, let's check back in on this. Oh, it looks like this is actually running now. So that's definitely good news. So yeah, that's running now. And then what I'm going to want to do is this is annoying. So okay. Yeah, so we're going to want this. We're going to want the test loss, unscaled test loss, and then yeah, we'll just look at those two for now. I'm just seeing if a lot of these are duplicate, exactly the same. Okay, now why am I not seeing anything? Okay, so it looks like a lot of these are exactly the same, which is weird, because you'd think that these would be at least somewhat different. that shows we're probably, I'm not sure if it's duplicate runs or what, but yeah, these literally look exactly the same. 2514. So wait, what? How are these any different? I don't understand that. They don't appear to be. Did I not get rid of all the overlapping in the notebook? So DA training COVID. This is what we're gonna use. As I said before, I might not have gotten rid of all the overlapping stuff here. Yeah. Okay, there's that stuff. Number encoder layers. No, oh wait, use mask. Yeah, use masks, that's fine. It's only one value. Drop out values would be equal to true. Wait, this shouldn't be. Or wait, is it using this or this one? I think it's using this one. Because it's the WANDB sweep config full. Yeah, it's the sweep full. So it's this. Wait, is it that one? Wait, is it actually using that crap below? No, it's using it. It's this, it is using that one. So, none of these in series should be duplicates. Like, all these should be changing the stuff. So, let me just see this. Make sure, see what the size. So, encoder, the encoder stuff. Hidden encoder, so hidden decoder. So those are that. Let's look at this now. Hidden 64 128. So are these okay, these are different. Wait, why are there two parameters for this? Honestly, don't know. Oh wait, yeah. That makes. Wait. There's something wrong here. Because if this is 64, then this definitely also should be 64. So something's wrong. Oh shit! That's why it was. There was just this really stupid error here, which meant like when it was sleeping, it actually wasn't looking at different sizes for the decoder. So that was causing the primary problem. So I will save this, and I guess I can save in pin revision. And then yeah, let's get this retraining again in that case. I did see the last one crash too. That's still running. So yeah, here trainer might time out. We've had a lot of problems in the past actually with trainer timing out. That's fine. We can still, of course, force merge this in the end. That's not the issue. The issue was before in some of the prior unit tests, weights and biases wasn't connecting, which was making some of the tests like fail completely. So So yeah, that was like not here, but like here was the old like problem. It was this stuff. So as long as it doesn't give this crap, the unit test should be good. Okay, so that's my main stuff for that. So I think this should be fixed because it is running now and it should be good regardless. What other stuff? I'm still gonna wait a bit to probably fully merge that. I just wanted to get it so the unit test wasn't breaking, which I think it actually isn't now. Oh, and possibly I wanted to add a read the docs badge too, because I would like to add that to the core page. So how do I add that? Okay. How do I add that then? So I think you just swap it then with like the year thing. So right. Read the docs, host, Sphinx, get in touch. Oh wait, no, that's their stuff. Wait, what, how do you get the docs passing badge? Can't they just give me the markdown code, like seriously? And then I could swap in my URL. You can see the action, read the docs. Style. Oh wait, I guess I could just, oh yeah, I could click it on my repo. That's what I'll do. I'm already losing my repo. So we will add that. The other thing I'm going to check, so that didn't actually seem to trigger the build of it. I want it triggered on the push. So whenever there's a push, it should actually read the docs probably. I don't know. I don't know exactly how to do that. Oh, all the tests actually did pass, which is nice. I'll probably actually just let Kruti, who's working on that, handle that. My main goal is just to get this PR fixed, and then she can just add commits to this now fixed PR. But I will just go add the badge. So yeah, we have a little table here of just like our badges. So one is like our push to PYPI, the other is this, and then this is will just be the read the docs stuff. Read the docs. Oh wait. Actually, I could just do whatever crap they say. So that's even better. I think we have to put that in. Add status badge. Status badge. So yeah, I was just adding the status badge. I might just dip into docs too. So these are all the like RST files for the docs. I am going to see, I don't think it will trigger anything, but if I change something in one of these, if it will just do anything. Auto module, so auto module inherited members. Yeah, I actually don't remember too much how to do this, but I think the idea is, yeah, it will automatically pick up the doc strings. It should. Early stopper. Yeah, that looks good. But I remember some not working well. Okay, so these actually look pretty good. I do like the way some of the docs look. So I'll go ahead and just do that. Actually, I will look at that. Auto build, read the docs on push. Or wait, we might add that to Travis CI too. I'm not sure. But in any case, yeah, I don't know as much about this, so I will let her handle that. But yeah, that looks good, and then I'll just add this status badge, I think, after a second. Oh wait, how'd that get in there? Okay, that should be good. Okay, so yeah. Unable to. Oh, it needs to pull from the origin. 111? Really? There were like 111 things merged in? I guess so. Okay, so I think that should be fine for that. We've pretty much done that now. I'll update the issue. Well, I'll update the PR and stuff. And issue. So edit. Yeah, it's always good to document these things. I created a separate PR, did I just call it? That seems to be working now. Future commits should probably go there. I would also like read the docs triggered on the push. So we'll just comment there. Yeah, I do like commenting on issues instead of just, because like you could definitely just also DM like the person on Slack too. But like when you, particularly on open source projects, this is good because when you comment on the issues, you're creating kind of an open line of communication of the work, and so that way the person, if other people have something to contribute, they can just come in and contribute to it. Okay, that was kind of the first thing I wanted to look at on my little checklist. I will just quickly check that the badge actually worked. We should be able to see that on the thing. Let's see. Okay, so there is that. Looks like I did do an extra comma or an extra thing. Wow, this version branch already has 1,026 commits. Like when I first started this repo, I never thought I would have this many commits on it. But remove, or not a comma, whatever the parentheses. Okay. Wait, why is this failed now? Oh yeah, that's related to master. Never mind. There was some crap failing on master, but it was actually fine. So actually, yeah, this might be good to tag a version, or no, I won't do that right now. My previous version tag actually failed to upload to the Python package repository, but I'm not going to do that right now. So we kind of did this. This is done now. Refactoring experiment platform. Okay, so we did kind of analyze them, and they weren't good. And they weren't great. This should some of that stuff should actually probably be put up into like a formal report or something. I did think I had an issue here on our kind of task TS project board. I think on DARNN. Did they ever actually do DARNN? Well, this would be part of the rolling 7-day average. Oh, what's that crap? I'll delete that. So I will post just a quick update on this. So update, I've now analyzed the models using a rolling 7-day average. DARNN so far performs a bit better than the transformer on what is it on LA County, but doesn't do too good on Cook County. But doesn't do too good on Cook County. Not with our current hyperparameter searches. I should probably include link DAs. To do. This is actually kind of a big issue, finding a model that generalizes on the 7-day rolling average. If we were doing another system like Scrum, we might actually chop this up into a bunch of smaller issues. But here, we obviously don't do sprints, thank God. I actually think Scrum is abysmal for data science because it forces people to do short-term things instead of kind of long-term gains over stuff, and it forces people to like, it prioritizes like a short-term quote-unquote deliverable, even if that quote-unquote deliverable is kind of shit, so yeah, I'm glad obviously not to do that here, but I do think that actually there is something to be said for chopping things up more, but I won't do that right now. To continue testing DARNN with hyperparameters and transfer learning, need to add the embedding layer into repo for that. Because I do think that there is some potential there. I did see some better stuff, particularly on LA County. than I did before. And I definitely think if we do maybe like a transfer learning thing where we create a common embedding layer, then that should help. Also, I think dropout might help to regularize it. Sometimes I've had problems with dropout making performance worse. But yeah, so that's the stuff. Anyways, to do continue. And then is also working on probabilistic models. We hope to merge soon in test, and then free is neural ODEs. So that's kind of our roadmap with that. I will summarize. Generic transformer doesn't seem to work well at all in this context. However, we haven't tried extensive transfer in more than basic hyperparam tuning. So that's that. That's the summary there. Good concise summary, I guess. Then the other thing we can do is okay, yeah, let's move on to these other tests. So yeah, let's actually run this with some of the dropout and see what happens. Let's also refactor part of that notebook, and yeah, so and then yeah, let's look at, I want to get this experiment platform stuff working so I don't have to constantly deal with redoing these notebooks, and the config files are better versions, so I hopefully avoid as many stupid errors as that. And maybe there could be like some actual unit tests or automated tests for some of the JSON config files that hopefully help with some of those stupid errors. But I do want to get this thing running, so right now I'm going to use the same notebook, and I'll just have it run in the background while I work on beginning to build out the platform. So that's what I'll do in a sec. I'm going to take a brief break though, and then I'll resume in about resume that stuff in about 10 minutes. So okay, so I'm basically back now. So back quickly after that. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to run the notebooks again, this time with dropout and other stuff added. After we do that, there was one notebook. I noticed the last one failed on Cook County, so I'm just going to go briefly look at that again. Yeah, we'll see that there. I think it was this link. So yeah, the last one that failed last night, I'm just looking at that. So it looks like this one crashed. I just want to know why right now. If it could be because the system just says crashed. It didn't seem to. This is a very long thing. Just keep scrolling all the way down. Removing excess debugging should be probably something that's added to the backlog, because there's too much crap being printed. Before I forget, I'll actually add that right now. Just quickly. Or I might actually have one with that. Only a really old one. Yeah, remove print statements with tensor shape. So yeah, for a while, obviously those print statements were invaluable, but now they're just a waste of space, you know. So oh crap, actually copied all that crap. God. Control Shift down. Yeah, so right now we have print statements with too much. With too much tensor shapes. Okay. So that's good for now. We'll just add that issue and then we'll go. Anyways, yeah, I think I was saying it's almost impossible to try to figure out. Maybe I can come on, Control Shift down. How long does this go on? Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to recover the stupid error message here. Where is that bar? I can't even see that bar. Okay, well, I don't know which one caused the error message, or what the error message is, since it didn't log the weights and biases. What we can do now is we could run and then maybe clear periodic. Oh, there's the bar finally. I'll just scroll all the way down. So it looks like there probably wasn't a specific error message. It looks like Google Colab probably just killed it because it was running for a long time. That's my guess here, because there's no error message. So actually there shouldn't be an error, so we just need to this is Colab Pro, so as long as I keep this browser window open, it shouldn't hopefully kill it again. But anyways, yeah, let's go do this stuff. So yeah, once again, for this part, I'll just black out my screen and work from here. So display capture. So yeah, just entering all the stupid credentials here to like try to get the model to run. So it's running right now in the background. I'll re-update it after I import the weights and biases stuff again. So yeah, we'll just wait for that. Oh yeah, crap. I need to also, I'll do that once I enter weights and biases, but I do need to, in the config, re-enter the stuff. So, yeah, I'll do that in a bit. Okay, so we're almost to weights and biases. As soon as we get there, as soon as we get through that section where I enter my API key, I'll resume the actual screen share. Notebook's taking a while. But yeah, that is something to think about for our experiment platform, which I'll get into in a sec. is just kind of, yeah, like doing that and yeah, getting the screen to let and getting this thing to like automatically use those keys instead of it, because it actually is tedious, as you've seen, is just entering them again. We could just have those saved as environment variables on git, and then in the case of a git command, just use them. That would obviously be great. So yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, so that's done. The weights and biases stuff is done. We do need to, like, as I said, rerun that config file with the dropout values, but it's back here now. So let's just confirm. Oh, this is still this. I really need to change that. So this should be hidden decoder in the top. So we will do that now and fix that bug. I swore I just fixed it. I think I fixed it in the other. Oh, I might have fixed that in a different tab, and now I'm running in this tab, so this might like create a problem actually. I don't know if this will actually be able to save now because fucking notebooks. This is gonna cause issues. I should be able to just say I want to overwrite that version if I like go and kill Safari. Hopefully I can just like be like, oh, I definitely want to overwrite this version. So, alright, come on, just save. Overwrite the stupid thing. This is infuriating. I hate how it does this. Like, it just can't handle concurrent shit at all, and it just totally breaks down if like you accidentally have an additional tab open, because it will just do this stuff, and it's honestly awful. I'm gonna have to. There should just be a thing where you can force overwrite the other version into Drive. It really that's just the way it has to be, because like you can't have these saves. Ugh, fucking A. Will it even save at all now? Like, come on. Like, what? Okay, this is ridiculous. Let me go back to Drive. Maybe. Saving. Okay, that's it. I'm honestly I'm done with notebooks, and I'm done particularly with doing stuff on Colab. It's just fucking. Come on! I want you to overwrite the other page. It's what you need to do. Overwrite. Let's see if I can get this. Force save. Notebook Colab. I don't think that's related. So did that save? Close that one. Just get it to save. Save, you stupid thing. I want you to save. So these were the pin versions. I don't know why I can't save at all. It's ridiculous. I can't save it, even though I need to save it. I mean, maybe this should maybe even be added as a bug on Colab, because like there needs to be a way to save afterwards. Because oh wait, why is it saying Los Angeles County again too? I put it as Cook County. I know for a fact that was Cook County. What the heck? Yeah, 10 seconds before it was. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I for these reasons, I'd actually definitely advise people just, if you can and you don't have, and you can get, like, infrastructure without having to pay for Colab, don't use Colab. Or if you can get infrastructure and, like, payment isn't an issue, you're not stuck using free credits, don't use Colab. And don't use notebooks in general, because they create more problems than they solve. You have these things like, you have these definite issues with like concurrent stuff, and this is just like a perfect example of it. And yes, I mean, I could try to just like get version this to GIS, but it's creating a lot of issues. A lot of issues, and it's still saving like 20 minutes later, and it still can't save the original draft. Like, and I'm gonna have to now go to a copy of it because this thing is so screwed up it doesn't even know how to save now. So okay, so dropout, obviously that shouldn't be that. We'll have to sub in dropout because dropout is now a parameter. Will this thing even be able to create a copy? I mean, I honestly don't know at this point though. Like, is it even worth doing anything here if this thing isn't gonna save stuff? Okay, so like I said, this is a good reason why we need to move away from notebooks. So I'm actually going to start drawing up the stuff to not do the notebook right now. I don't know what that's going to do. It's so awful. But so I've started a separate repo. It's called experiment configs. And the idea is here we're going to keep all of our configurations in this file. And moreover, what we're going to do is we're going to I don't know actually how to abstract all of this yet, but we're going to have like, hopefully where we just have like a raw JSON portion of the config, maybe with like dummy values. Then we have the make config file, and then like when we commit to this, we would commit something with a specific, we commit like the JSON config file, and then we name the like function to actually do that, and then yeah. So let's actually document out how like this would be. So so yeah, we'll do some technical documentation now. I honestly don't know if that thing's gonna work at all. So like and then the idea here too is that even if we still have to use notebooks for whatever credit, for if you say collab because it's like free, we move the code out of the notebook. So we already are kind of doing that because we have stuff in the main repos that aren't in the notebook. But the more code you move to modules and out of the notebook, the better, because then that's the less code that needs to be then the more code is like, moved out of the note, you don't have to deal with that. And actually I don't even know why this is saying this, because like I definitely downloaded this as Cook County. I've changed this file path like 20 different times now, but the stupid notebook hasn't registered that for some reason. And yeah, it's just awful. So the idea is the more code you move out of the notebook, the better, because then there's the less code that is in the stupid notebook, and then that gets broken when you're doing these types of changes. So that's the idea. So we need to figure out a way to move. I swear I fixed this last session. I mean, I know it. I could go back to the old video. This is definitely a problem with the stupid notebook. It's not saving, and it's doing things absolutely incorrectly. So yeah, I mean, I am going to run this now, but as soon as I run this, I'm going to completely work on phasing out of these, because these are awful. And if you actually go back to Jill Gruss's talk on some of this stuff, you can definitely, he brings up a lot of these issues and stuff, and this is the exact problem with them. So yeah, so you need to move out of notebooks. Notebooks are definitely extremely bad for like any type of real coding, including most machine learning development. So yeah, and I'm going to show you outline in the actually. Yeah, I've been lazy, so this hasn't been a priority, but I'm honestly sick of these. So these next couple of experiments, I'm going to lay out how to get entirely off of notebooks. First, I'm actually going to start with moving this function to the actual COVID library. So these functions are specific to COVID forecasting, so they'll go in our COVID forecasting repo. And then I have to decide which repos it makes sense for this, a function like this, to go into. But the idea is, in the end, even if we still do use the notebook just because cloud credits are expensive, there will be none of this code here. This will all just be like specific import from blah 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 import. You won't even load. You won't even load the. Well, you might still. You won't even load the DF is kind of the idea, because you probably just, it would be like as simple. It should be as simple. If you're going to do this way, yeah, you'll still have the installing and authenticating, but the idea is then you'd be as simple as running something like Python Corona trainer.py, like config equals like something like da config.json, and then like county file, like something like county equals would then be like Cook County, or something like that. And yeah, who knows? You could even probably just put the yeah, I know we actually have issues in the repo to just put the path to GCS bucket. So like actually soon, we don't have the support yet, but in the JSON file soon, that's actually one of our issues being worked and currently in progress on our board, is soon you'll just be able to like do like something like GS, so like where we do like file path in the config right now. Soon, like you'll just be able to supply like a file on GCS, and Flow Forecast Ripple will automatically download it to you. Like, so it would be like some bucket slash like file.csv, and Flow will automatically download and stash the file. That's actually one of our issues currently being worked on. So that will greatly simplify things. So soon, hopefully, all you would have to do to run this entire code would be like, you'd still, I think weights and biases authentication is here. You'd still set these environment variables if you're doing it in a notebook. But we wouldn't have all this crap in the notebook. There'd be no Python code. We don't, and preferably you wouldn't use notebooks at all, because then you launch like just a Docker image to run on GKE and stuff. The only reason I'm still using notebooks here at all, well, is some of it was I was iterating quickly, but also I do need to take advantage of the free cloud credits, because we don't have or free kind of GPUs, because we don't have a ton of compute. But yeah, it definitely, if you can ditch notebooks entirely in terms of actual any code that runs and trains models, you can do rapid prototyping in them. You probably saw me do rapid prototyping in the others, but you need to ditch it, because you'll just run into headache after headache like this, and it's awful. So any case, with that said, I am going to run this right now and just get it running at least, and then I will just gist this notebook again. I think I've already gisted it like a bunch of times, but these will be the latest changes. Oh yeah, I had to add the dropout though, because the dropout was what I was adding, and I didn't want to add it till it's saved. So dropout, we're going to test a couple different values for dropout. So we'll test, the default now is 0.01 or 0.1. So we'll test 0.1, 0.2, maybe 0.5. I don't want to test every single one, because then this goes up by a large factor. Yeah, that looks like a couple pretty good dropout things. So dropout, and then we just have to modify. Oh yeah, we have to add the dropout param. Dropout. Oh wait, which was this cloning from? This is cloning crap. So this is actually cloning from the wrong branch. This should just clone from master now, because that old branch actually never had the latest dropout and added in. That was in a like separate branch. So we'll just remove that. Yeah, I mean, so okay, so I'll just have to do that quickly and rerun this. Yeah, so, okay. Oh yeah, and actually maybe the config file should like, there should be some like also other thing too, where like, it's easy, like, not the config file, but like an experiment configs here, where when it actually launches, say like you do like a PR with the issue, I really need to set up a thing called PR workflow, because that's how I think is how this will fundamentally work. But yeah, I'm trying not to get distracted with how much I hate notebooks right now. So okay, so this should be good. I'm gonna reset this and rerun this crap, so that then we can get started on this stuff. So let's plug my computer in. So yeah, again, here we have to run this beginning to end. I do want to get this done, so I am going to do this, try to get this done, but then definitely around 10, I'll probably end the stream, 10 or 22, because I do have other things I need to do tonight. Yeah, let's quickly fill in all this crap again. I really hate to, I wish there was a way I didn't have to entirely reset the runtime. I've tried lesser things, but like none of them have worked per se, so so yeah, I'll just wait for that to go for now. So just waiting for all that to finish again. But yeah, I am glad. Like I do think we're overall making progress. We have added a lot to our repo, and on the COVID side, I do think, as I was saying before, that the DARNN has like a fair amount of potential. Because I was seeing better forecasts out of it. There are other models I'd like to add to, like I think the dual stage attention, or someone did like, I forget what it was called, but there was like a self-attention where they had like two different self-attentions. That looked like it could be good for our time series stuff also. But yeah, we'll have to look at that. But yeah, I think prioritization wise, I'm going to be working a lot to fully wean off the notebooks, as I was saying, and then oh yeah, potentially integrating more granular mobility data, because a lot of our kind of forecasts, I mean, you saw I use it just like mobility, retail, and recreation, but there's like no like granular stuff like, say, just looking at like the mobility of bars or something. So yeah, so that's definitely problematic. But yeah, so that's kind of what, dropout, WinDB config, that should just be dropout. Come on, stuff. Still like early in the night. What the heck? How's that invalid syntax? So it's still yelling at me about invalid syntax. Oh yeah, I will re-enable the screen since we're by it. So basically it just said that some of the syntax was like invalid in some of my stuff, but let me re-enter my key. So I'll clear that screen. I'll re-enable the main screen. Yeah, so that should be good. That's fine. I don't know why like it takes 2 times to run here. What? I just downloaded that thing. That's the name of the, I think I did this last time, so I don't know why the code is like back again, but so yeah, there it's running with the dropout, I think. So yeah, that should be running. So for the next so for the next 19 minutes or so, what's going to happen is that we'll do like we'll just work on figuring out this PR workflow. So the idea with the PR workflow is that as I said, was to get rid of the notebooks. So I should actually highlight that as a goal. Get rid of the notebooks. Goal. Oh wait, no, I don't want this in code style. I want this in PR workflow. So the goal is to get rid of notebooks, reduce amount of tedious typing, of tedious retrieving of keys and environment of keys from WANDB and Google. Reduce errors associated with improper config files. Have the PR contain all the relevant centrally store all configurations in a easy to use Git repo, so experiments can be rerun easily. Have PR to contain all the relevant info on experiments with WANDB link. I think, yeah, so those are the core ones. Was there anything else that this was hoping to achieve? Yeah, I mean, potentially also just be able to automatically launch large enough clusters for huge experiments that require many resources. Okay, so those are the goals. I'll actually call this something different. Automatic experimentation. Actually, I think I already had a wiki page I could use. This. I'll just put this in. So, goal. So goals, that's the goal. We'll just check in on this for a sec. Dropout, we'll just make sure dropout is actually changing. Dropout. Okay. So that should be good. Okay, what does this look like? Goals. Okay, so actual workflow. Oh wait, these should be that should be free. Actual. Okay, so code layout. Okay, so let's think about how this works conceptually. So let's say I will have a machine learning experiment I want to run using the flow repo. Then I also have a configuration file or a Python function that makes the configuration file. So people could use one of our existing make config file functions that will be in the repo, or they could use a new function they want to add. But in any case, we have an ML user and they open a PR. opens a PR. And right now I'm assuming that all the people using this will actually be on our team, and then if other teams want to use this, then they could just clone this and add their credentials separately. So, but the idea is ML user, like say, opens a PR on experiment configs. On experiment configs. So the conceptually, okay, so speaking, what should this PR include? Those are some of the major questions. So I think the PR would have to include a config file, obviously. Okay, so it would include a config file. Oh yes, those actually work. Happy about that. It would include a config file, a version of flow forecast, or could you? Yeah, I don't know. So wait, no, a config file for the maybe we'd have like 2 or 3 configs inside a master config. So there would be the config file for flow, which would be that standard JSON file you see here. You'd have the WAN-DB sweep config, WAN-DB config. And then you would then also have potentially the make config Python function, which would say how to make the config. And then you potentially maybe have something like other dependencies, or like, yeah, an additional like requirements.txt. So that would essentially take the place of like this installation stuff. I mean, because like for instance here we do have these residuals. So like requirements.txt. Okay, but if they're opening the PR, then these couldn't. So yeah, so they PR, like user would create maybe a separate. Let's think about this. So, I mean, common experiments, I think, would go in different directories, right? So we'd have like directories for different things that were needed. So yeah, so that would be that. So PR would include a new path. Which would have WAN-DB config, something like WAN-DB config.json. So i.e. COVID forecast / yeah, so that, yeah. Config file. So the flow config dot JSON. So this would be Yeah, let me think about that. But that's we'll have to get the exact scope of that figured out. And then so slash so then they would probably have to do, yeah, just a unique identifier. And what I'm doing here is that potentially the same requirements txt we want to use for multiple experiments. Likewise, the same make config we want to use for multiple experiments, but it would be the WANDB and the flow config that would probably like vary between experiments. So so there would be like this there would be this one directory for like different sets of experiments. So yeah, it would go something like this. This is what I'm thinking. It'd go something like main dir, whatever this, main dir is. And that's what this thing would be. So in this case, it would be COVID forecast. Then this would be main dir. And if you had to have like a separate like make config, you just cast that as an entirely new directory, for instance. Similarly, yeah, if you had to change requirements, you'd have to do that as a separate directory too. That might cause some problems, but at least yeah, it saves having to do a bunch of those. Or potentially you could, I think also, we could also allow, for instance, like maybe like using a separate dir, also allow using a existing make config in a different dir. Okay, so that's the main stuff. That kind of so user and so for that we could just have like a master file. We could just have something like main dir slash master.json, which would include paths to everything else. Okay, so yeah, and through that we could essentially do this. So they open a PR, it has all this shit, then the PR triggers, opens a PR. We probably require a review from a repo admin. And then what they would do is essentially require a review from repo admin. Admin would, from repo admin would then comment run with name of cloud provider to run, or alternatively with name of cloud provider project ID to run, or alternatively collab. Infrastructure config. Experiments would run on, this would trigger the creation of infrastructure based on Terraform templates, and config file. Still running. So yeah, so this is the core, and so yeah. I don't know if what exactly that would be. It'd probably be Terraform, but I'm not going to say it right now. And then this would trigger this, and then once experiment started, GitHub GHBot would comment back with a link to WANDB sweep page. Okay. Code tests would check that experiment parameters make sense, and all params in sweep config are used in flow config. So we should do that code quality. I'll just save that for now. Okay, so this is a good outline. It is 10 or 22 hours now, so I'm going to stop this for a bit, but I think this is a good starting point. I need to start to look at essentially, oops, I think I deleted that actually, but I need to start to look at the actual, like, how this works in practice. It will probably use Terraform to spin up the infrastructure. We'll have automatic code tests to check that these things match. But yeah, I think that's a good starting kind of documentation page. So yeah, that was the main stuff for tonight. Probably not as an exciting night as most. Yeah, I guess it was just mainly me kind of yelling about how awful notebooks were. But I think this in the end will be a really useful platform to use, and yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I'll definitely do one more stream at least tomorrow night. Live tomorrow night, so people can watch that. I think then we'll be working a bit more on this stuff. We didn't really refactor it, but we did outline it. Yeah, I might start to get to work more on some of this meta model stuff. And then we'll also look at like some of like not that stuff, but we'll look at the maybe meta module and kind of some of the auto encode stuff, and also we'll also review some of the results of this with dropout. And yeah, hopefully by then this will be merged. I'm hoping. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We also might look at that. So yeah, tomorrow hopefully I'll do a bit longer session, maybe bordering on 2.5 or 3 hours. So I haven't decided on the exact time yet, but probably starting maybe like 8 till 11 or something similar. Okay, so that was covered hopefully a fair amount of stuff. And yeah, I gave you a good idea of kind of the directions we're also heading in terms of both the main repo and also kind of creating like a good ML ops system, and as well as of course the main rep I was saying just like hopefully that gave you a good sense of like how the stuff's going with the main repo, the ML ops infrastructure, the actual COVID forecasting and other stuff. So we are working on like a bunch of end products, but they're all kind of tied together. So one is the main repo, the other is the other is the flow forecast repo, which can be used for any time series forecasting task. And hopefully you'll use that in some of your actual time series forecasting projects. And then the third is kind of this ML ops automated deployment system. And there is kind of also vaguely a fourth, but I won't get into that right now. But those are the main things. Though I mean, obviously we all want to obviously roll out really good models for COVID. Let me see how this sweep looks. Actually, yeah, I'll just go over quickly what we're seeing in this sweep now, and hopefully there's some results on using the dropout, which I'm hoping is cool. So we'll go here and see. Let's see. Dropout. So we'll look at the dropout. I don't know. I just kind of randomly put the dropout layer in the model. It's like between the encoder and the decoder. That might actually not be the best place for it too. I don't know. What people can let me know your thoughts on where's the best place to put the dropout and stuff. But I am going to check. So this should be changing the dropout params though. So I'm just going to, this is the sweep. So far it's run 65 different model combinations. We can look at like the unscaled test loss. Unscaled test loss. So this should be the smallest one. Let me see about the dropout. Oh, it's only used 0.1 so far? I guess dropout's probably one of the later parameters that will switch up. Because yeah, the thing I care about is really the dropout component. Unscaled, so this is going down. But actually even this one's a bit more than the other model we were doing because that didn't have any dropout really. So already we do see the confidence intervals expanded a bit. This is obviously still, it looks like pretty much the same in terms of being over the actual cases in Cook County, but at least it's expanded the confidence interval, so it's no longer basically just that continual overlap of the line. Also, this does actually look a little bit better too, in all honesty, because like I remember the last one, I think it was all the way up at 400, I believe, in the 400s when we were looking at it, whereas this is the 200s, and this actually is, in all honesty, not that bad in my opinion, because this is actually still 294, this is 227, so it is predicting okay, and it does seem to kind of have somewhat of a similar shape, obviously not an exact match. I would like to make the confidence interval wider, but this already actually looks a fair amount better. Though here, yeah, it's still not the best. Oh wait, 294. Yeah, so like here, well, this is 200, I guess. So this is like 200, and that's 300. So that's not good. But like, it does seem definitely closer than without the dropout. So hopefully that dropout is going to help. And yeah, hopefully we'll see this, really work. So okay, that really does kind of. Yeah, we conclude for now. We will get hopefully a full parameter search by tomorrow. Mobility, retail, and recreation. Actually, I already kind of like this model. It's obviously still some problems with it, but it's a lot better than some of the others I've seen, because it's also weighting the mobility, retail, and recreation kind of high, which I think should be high. And yeah, it's and that's good. Yeah, residential, workplaces. So yeah, yeah, that does look good. Okay. Anyways, yeah, that's the end of it.